Honorable judges, fellow FFA members, and guests. My name is Catherine Garner, and these are my partners, Victoria Meriden and Riggs Bosman. Together we represent the FFA chapter. Today we'll be presenting you a demonstration of trimming cats, dogs, and even bearded dragon snails. Honorable timekeeper, we're ready to begin.
Having pets is a lot of responsibility. You have to feed them and provide them with fresh water, and one of the most important things, you have to trim their nails. Today, my team and I will be demonstrating how to trim your dogs, cats, and even bearded dragon snails. We will also show you how to restrain your animal if needed.
There are a lot of factors that go into trimming your dog's nails, a few being your dog's behavior, reactivity, and their experience with nail trimming. If you know that your dog is reactive or does not like getting their nails trimmed, then you may want to consider restraints. Some restraints that may be helpful in a situation are a muzzle, a dog grooming hammock, or even just another set of hands. If you do not have access to any of these restraints, you can simply have another person gently hold under the dog's neck and under the dog's belly. This should give you enough control to gently grab the dog's paw and trim their nails. Restraints are not only important to keeping the dog from harming you, but it also keeps your dog still, which lowers the chance of you cutting the quick. If you do not need to restrain your dog, the only materials you will need are nail clippers or a Dremel, and some of your dog's favorite treats as an reward.
As Victoria mentioned before, restraints can be a very critical when trimming your dog's nails. One basic restraint is a gauze muzzle. To correctly use a gauze muzzle, start by putting the middle of the gauze strap under the dog's snout. Then bring in two of the ends and cross them over the bridge of the nose. While doing this, make sure to keep your hands out of the way of the dog's mouth in case they decide to bite. Next, you'll bring the two ends and bring them under and behind the dog's ears and simply tie them up. Now that we successfully put on the gauze muzzle, if you don't have a gauze muzzle, a regular muzzle will work as well. Now that you've ensured the safety of both you and your dog, you may now start trimming the nails. The main thing that you'll need to look out for when trimming nails is the quick, which is the inner part of the nail that contains blood vessels and nerves. If you cut the quick, it can cause it to bleed. Depending on the color your dog is, they could either have white, black, or brown nails. If your dog has white or clear nails, you'll be able to see the quick. It's a pink area closest to the paw. If you cannot see the quick, the best place to cut the nail is where it starts to bend. Once you cut and you're satisfied with the length, it is recommended that you use a nail file to smooth out any sharp edges that may be left on the nail. If you happen to cut the quick, you can use blood stop powder or a synthetic powder to help the nail stop bleeding. If you do not have either of those, you can use a towel to apply pressure to the nail and it should stop bleeding. Or a substitution for blood stop powder is cornstarch. Simply put a patch of cornstarch on the nail and it should clog right up.
Some dog breeders choose to cut off the dew claw that is located on the inside of the front legs. The reason for cutting it off is so it doesn't get caught on rush or tough terrain. This practice is mainly seen in hunting or sport breeds. If your dog still has their dew claw, make sure you trim it as well. If you do not cut the dew claw, it can get too long and grow into the leg, causing the dog a significant amount of pain. Now that all your dog's nails are trimmed, let's move on to cats.
Some cats are really timid when it comes to handling, and some cats love to be handled. If you have a timid cat, you may want to consider restraining them to keep them calm and lower the chances of them scratching you or hurting themselves. To restrain your cat, you can either wrap them in a cozy blanket, only exposing their head and legs, or you can purchase a cat grooming bag. Essentially what that is a bag that only has holes for the legs and the head, and person holds the cat up, or some versions actually come with hooks to hang from sturdy surfaces. This method reduces the chance of squirming, stress, and running away. You can also use a muzzle that covers the cat's ears, the cat's eyes and mouth. Cats tend to settle down when they cannot see what's happening around them. The simplest way to restrain your cat is to grab them by the scruff of their neck. This is a painless way to immobilize them and to keep them from moving. This method is completely safe and does not cause any harm to the cat. If your cat does not need to be restrained, it's easier to trim their nails while they are sitting in your lap. The only thing that you will need is cat nail clippers.
Now that we know how to make the environment as safe as possible, and we know what materials we need, we may now have Catherine demonstrate how to trim their nails. You will start off by gently grabbing the cat's paw and lightly adding pressure to just above the middle of the paw to make the nails extract from their paws. When you're cutting their nails with proper lighting, you should be able to see the quick. You should cut just above the quick. If you are nervous or don't want to cut too short, you can start off by taking only a little bit off at first, then go back and cut it shorter. If you accidentally cut too far, it can cause the cat to bleed. To stop the bleeding, hold slight pressure on the nail with a towel or blanket, and it should slowly stop the bleeding. More than likely, you will need to repeat this process every 2 to 4 weeks, depending how active your cat is. If your cat has a scratch pad, or you find them scratching your walls or furniture, their nails will get sharper way faster. After discussing the importance of trimming your cat's nails to prevent scratches and maintain their health, let's move on to another pet that benefits from regular nail care. Now let's explore the process of trimming your bearded dragon's nails, which requires a different approach and set of tools.
Did you know that millions of Americans own bearded dragons? In fact, bearded dragons are the most popular reptiles to keep as pets. With that being said, it's really important to know how to properly trim their nails. The only materials you'll need for the cat nail is cat nail clippers and a nail file. The nail file can be used if you feel as though it's necessary to smooth the nail. As far as restraints go, there are not many options for bearded dragons. If your bearded dragon does not want to stay still, you could try wrapping them with a towel or a blanket. You can also gently place your thumb on their tail, which keeps them still.
A common misconception when it comes to trimming your bearded dragon's nails is that you can use human nail trimmers, but pet nail clippers are specifically made to cut completely around the nail, while human nail clippers are made to cut flat. It is recommended that you use cat nail clippers since they are designed for cutting thick and round nails, causing a clean and even cut around the nail. Human nail clippers pinch down flat across the nail. That can lead to pinching and microfracturing along the tip of the nail that can cause pain to the bearded dragon. My team and I demonstrated how to trim your dog's and cat's nails. The goal was to get their nails as short as they can without cutting them quick, but with your bearded dragons, you still want to keep their nails a little on the longer side since they enjoy climbing. So, how will you actually trim their nails? You want to start by calmly holding your bearded dragon. You will want to take your nail clipper and carefully trim around the tip of each nail. Now, how often should you trim your bearded dragon's nails? Your bearded dragon's enclosure, if your bearded dragon's enclosure is bedded with substrate like dirt, sand, or leaves, then you will not need to trim the nails as frequently.
Now that we have successfully trimmed our dogs, cats, and bearded dragons' nails, we're safely and effectively audible timekeeper. This concludes our demonstration. We will now entertain any questions the judges may have.
Have any of you ever done this?
I do it with my mom.
What species?
Dog and cat.
Yes, as well as with my grandmother's cats.
And have you trimmed your cats?
Yes.
Not always easy, is it?
No.
No, it's
Especially when they're squirmish and you can't even pick them up.
My cat, you could literally just pick up, sit in your lap and just pat his nails. He's got the most adorable personality. I love him so much.
I wish mine was that simple.
Yeah, my grandmother's, I have an outdoor cat, so I don't trim his nails, but I help my grandmother trim her outdoor cat or her indoor cat's nails, and she has 2 of them. Her older one, she's kind of whatever, she's okay with it. But her younger one, she's super skittish, so I can barely even grab onto her to trim her nails, so that's kind of annoying. We have to get her used to that.
How often do you need to trim a dog's nails?
That's a good question.
Every 2 to 4 weeks.
Similar to, maybe?
No, I think it's longer for dogs than it is cats.
Well, because you told me how long it was going to be to trim a cat's nails.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Maybe
was
the
like,
dragon's nails, but you didn't tell me how long it was going to take, how long I should go for a dog.
Yeah.
The other one question I have is, you talked about how to properly hold the dog if I don't have a muzzle or a piece of cloth. How do I do that? Can you guys show me how to properly hold the dog if I'm going to trim its nails?
Like that.
Okay.
under the neck and under the belly.
Might want to include that in the note,
Okay.
okay? Because you talked about it.
Yeah, but
Sure.
we didn't present it.
Because the more that you do there and the less that's up on the video, the better off it is.
We don't have a stuffed animal of a bearded dragon.
Yeah,
so-
Yeah,
that's-
I know. So that's why I didn't say anything with the bearded dragon, but that's why I figured I mentioned
Yeah,
dog.
with the
You have a
slideshows.
stuffed dog there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything you're curious about, like, as far as the work that you did, anything that you worked really hard in and you're interested in feedback? Or you just want to know all of it?
Just your guys' opinion on what we have done so far today?
Okay. Ray, I just wanted to tell you, slow down, all right? You rush so much, and you just want to say all the sounds of the word. Slow down, and then just speak the Scotia more clearly. You are the teacher, all right? The girl, you ended up doing a nice job as far as, like, using that teacher voice, all right? And that's what I enjoyed, because that's what a good demonstration should be, a clear, crisp teacher voice. Great eye contact, I enjoyed that. You're very good at the demoing, and I really enjoyed when she was demoing and you turned and looked at her. And maybe that's something that you could do too, because the attention when she's demoing should be on her. Your wait time, I felt, was really effective, because while she was demoing, you were quiet, so she could do her teaching with her hands, true demonstration. Good voice, I enjoyed that. Anchored this. I really like when you, like I said, when you slowed down and looked. The wait time was good. Your demoing was very good. You looked at her, but you didn't have that same interest in what it is she was doing that she had in what you were doing. I mean, she looked interested in what you were doing, and that part was really good. Good visuals. I really enjoyed that. The first YouTube video really served a little bit of a distraction. I think you could have gotten away with the simple photograph. The second on the bearded dragon was pretty effective, because I felt like, okay, I feel like I could take care of that bearded dragon. But the next thing, and I'm just going to say, I'm going to be real super duper blunt. We need, if you're going to demonstrate and do this, we need to proofread, okay? There are some proper nouns up there that weren't capitalized to include your names, and I know you're probably being stylish, all right? But it is highly distracting. And then when we're looking at the titles of your slides, I don't know 100%, you're going to want to look to it, which words should be capitalized, there, and which ones don't need to be. That's probably something, I want you to look into, because I was a skosh distracted by them, all right, and in moving forward, that's the goal, right? In moving forward, that's something that, you know, I don't wanna see you get, you know, bumped down on.
Yeah.
Especially when it's something that is it's a little proofreading. I like the pictures, I felt like the pictures were really good, they really helped support what it is that you were doing, right? This, you know, good job is a really good topic to do. You know, one thing I'm just gonna add, groomers, especially with good experienced dogs, especially larger dogs, what they'll do when they do trim their nails is the dog will simply stand on all fours and like a farrier picking up a horse's hoof. They'll trim like that. You know, I watched a groomer trim a golden, you know, because you're not necessarily going to manhandle a golden so much, but just, you know, pick that leg up, pick that leg up. You know, that's a good experienced dog that doesn't need restraints.
So I would also include wrapping the cat. If you guys talked about swaddling like wrapping the cat, I would include that. Because that way, that's something that, you know, one of you can be talking about while the other person is doing. It's not gonna take you any more time, but it's something that just is visually there while you're just talking.
Yeah.
The more stuff you can be doing while someone's talking, the better it's gonna be. Speak up a little bit. Some of us are old, we're hard of hearing, so it's good that you're this close, but if you were back there, it would have been even harder. So it's okay, you know the stuff, just say a little bit louder.
Alright.
Okay? And look at me once in a while. It's okay. I know I'm old, a little ugly, but you can look at me once in a while, okay? And the videos, you guys can embed those videos instead of doing the links. So the links, when you click on it, brings up that whole YouTube and your suggested reels down the side. If you actually go through and embed the link in there, it'll give you the picture. So when you get to the slide, it'll give you that intro picture on your YouTube video. And when you hit play, it'll play on the slide instead of going to YouTube. And because you've got this whole thing going on where, you know, you're pulling it up on
Or
YouTube.
Mrs. Howell's screwing it up for you.
Right, so you want to embed it because that makes it a little bit easier because it plays right in the slide for you.
Alright, thank you.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that, but I'll search into it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's fairly easy if you look it up. There's one right underneath where like the share is. There's also an embed there. There'll be a link there that says embed, and then you just take that code
Yeah.
and you put it into the slide, and then it'll embed that picture for you.
Yeah, thank you. I'll look into it.
And the only other thing is having a sample of bloodstock powder, I think would have been really effective because
I thought this, yeah.
it is a reality when you're trimming nails. You will do that, and just to have some on hand, maybe even show, you know, what it looks like, or, you know, maybe go, oh no!
Ray squeezing a bottle of ketchup and.
Too much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.